What is up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we're here at the Nerd Castle again today playing the next episode in Battle Worlds, Kronos. In our last episode, we were trying to escort these little trucks along and keep them from getting annihilated, and the battle was going fairly well in our favor. Now, we had taken a little bit of damage, we had taken a little bit of counterfire on our way through the enemy's lines, but I think we'll be okay. Let's figure out what we want to do about all of these supplementary units that just dogpiled in from the north and how we want to help them. Our infantry, they are also taking a bit of damage from this artillery that they're firing into the forest, unfortunately. Gonna pull back from there. And actually, with regards to these units, I'm gonna drop him right now. And so down he goes, and that's actually gonna make a blockade for us on the next turn, so he gets a little bit of a rest. I also need to get this artillery platform back up in here, away from the rear with the gear, and more towards the enemies that we're interested in annihilating. I'm probably going to double rocket this vehicle right here to open up a pathway for my Cerberuses, my Cerberi, my Cerberunis to get up in here and destroy this guy. But we want to pay careful attention to that artillery's range. So where we want to go is like right there. We want him to undeploy if we can help it. We really don't want to take that spot though. That spot would be a blunder. A blunder or a meat blender, whichever you prefer. I guess both words could be used interchangeably. We're going to soften him up with a little bit of artillery, and then hopefully we'll be able to finish him off with our Cerberuses. Unfortunately, God, that sucks. I really hate leaving a unit like in that state because now he's going to be able to run away and kind of heal himself. Let's get rid of this artillery platform. And I would also prefer that we take out this infantry as well. I do like that the game will actually queue up actions when you tell it to do stuff like that. You'll notice I clicked back and forth. I was like, you and then you. That is the proper order that has been ordained by the universe. Bring me battle. I don't know. I'm getting overexcited here because I like this game so much. I'm about to go break out Advanced Wars, to be honest. That's what this game has done. Although I'm a little afraid that I won't be quite as pleased with Advanced Wars anymore if I do that. Let's see here. What do I want to do now? Well, obviously I want to capture some of these points, and I do want to make a run on him. Can he fire within 2? Oh, he can't. Okay, so bandits are going to be how we want to run up on him. We want to run up on him a super hard bandit style. So these bandits right here are probably all going to make a double run to get inside his range, and then on the next turn, they'll fire on him double style. They will basically tag team him. It'll be all over the internet. It'll have all kinds of upvotes. Let's see. That's all safe for now. Anybody else got anything for me? I do love the polish of the UI in this game. I love the fact that you can just hold down the spacebar and you're instantly aware of like everything your units can do so that you never forget to do anything. I think that's a very nice feature for a strategy game, and it's not one that I'm willing to argue with. That's a feature that I will accept wholeheartedly. Now, what we don't want him to do is fall back and heal, but that may be what he does right here. The AI, as of yet, has actually shown itself to be quite intelligent. It comes up with some pretty cogent strategies, to be honest. And then it goes, every time I try and make a declaration like that, it makes me look dumb. I just need to start pretending like I know anything about it. Ooh, we got a problem. A big, big problem, actually. Well then, I think that our best plan then in this case is to ignore this front for a moment, turn everybody back around this direction, and maybe hope for like a giant death battle that we pull off somehow. They do have artillery, which is slightly terrifying. Let's see if maybe we can finish off everything on this bridge really quickly. That's what I was sort of hoping for. I think he's got a double move to actually get at me on the next turn. We've blocked off that runway now. And nothing over here is actually that scary. Let's finish our Jorb over here. Obviously, our principal interest right now is capturing more units for the battle to come. So let's take the infantry and let's get them into positions where they can start getting us a little bit of the reinforcements. I'll start moving a few guys back this way. just in case we have to mount some kind of defense. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the placement of everything. If these guys stay put, we've definitely got nothing to worry about. If they press this way, they could... I mean, we've got such an overwhelming force right now that I'm not intensely terrified about what might go down. And what we want to do now is we want to get inside his range. His range appears to be... That's inside of it right there. That's precisely where we want to be. Just making doubly sure. Okay, and I think we've got enough of a force there. Let's turn some of these Cerberus back. And because this is a defense mission, now what we want to do is, because we have a defensible position right here, our absolute goal is to get these trucks into the center of us. We want to round off the wagons so that they're at least completely surrounded. So let's get them in the middle of the base over here. And barring like airstrikes or any ridiculous stuff like that, I think we should be okay. I'm feeling very clear right now. Not necessarily like 100% safe, but I do feel a lot more clear of the circumstance that I would have been otherwise. The other decision I'm prone to make here, we have an argument of whether they're going to arrive from the south or from the west here first. My inclination is that definitely the south is going to get here first, and in that case, I kind of want to secure this over here and give them a target to shoot at. They don't have a lot of highly mobile units, but neither do I. That's the other downside. As I say that, they're like, yeah, well, neither do you, asshole. Yeah, well, I know. I think what I'm going to do is this right here. Let's get him healed. We'll keep the artillery where it's at. And we'll hope that we can reinforce rapidly enough. So we'll bring that hunter down. He doesn't have anything for us, unfortunately. But we should be able to fight on this front if I can get these 3 Cerberuses down. We may actually want to fold this entire line, maybe. Like, have them just start retreating like crazy, displacing like madmen. I'm not sure what I'd prefer here. Everybody else appears to have moved. So let's see what the Yerla Corporation does now. That's pretty much what I was worried about, actually. And we have some sincere problems to think about, so I think maybe the retreating is probably the best option. So I do think that's what we're gonna do. If I can retreat back to a formed line on this side, we should be alright. This infantry can come along as well. He can represent us here. We do have a problem with our artillery, as we are going to get run down in the next turn, unfortunately. My guess is that they're going to make a fairly cumulative move at us, and this is a sizable force. This is pretty much it's comparable to what we fought up here, so we're going to have to deal with that. Let's get rid of this artillery platform. It doesn't look like they're going to push from that direction, meaning that that gambit was pretty much pointless. We didn't really need to distract that group of units, but we did. No use crying over it now. Okay, so that artillery is now taken care of. Let's go ahead and capture some new units to back us up. And what do we have? We have a bike. Don't really care about that at all. Looks like we have an infantry. Alright, don't really care about that either. This one's empty, which is pretty fun. Okay. Well, I'm just going to reinforce this back line like crazy, I think. It's going to take them at least a turn to get into position, so we'll let them do that. We'll let it happen every time. I'm going to increase the firepower of this unit, because on the next turn he's going to land on that repair block if he can. Let me run through and make sure that everybody's been leveled appropriately, too. Basically, anybody with a check next to their name or a chevron. Okay, so that artillery hasn't been. I'm going to give him improved, because he's always in the back line anyways. I don't really see any point in giving him squash. So I think the engine upgrade's probably going to be better for him in all cases. Oh, we have a Cerberus that hit max level. Oh, he's veteran. Never mind. He gets another one too, I think. We'll see what happens when we do this. Oh, never mind. He hit the first rank. That sucks. I want him to be the second rank so that we can take him into the next mission. I may actually also try and flank down this way, although it's going to take me a bit to get that kind of maneuver into position. These three should be enough to handle these guys right here. They're not nearly heavy-duty enough to handle them, I don't think. Especially since I've got close-range infantry, so let's take this guy. We'll bring him back down here, too. I want this to be like a front of death for the enemy, a FOD. What's going to happen now? They're probably going to focus on him pretty hardcore. But that's not a contingency. Oh, they've got even more coming down from that direction. Yeah, I think a retreat is probably our best option here. Let's make a push in this direction and hopefully get ourselves the hell out of here. Infantry there. He's going to use his turn to cap that. Just going to give us another hunter to play with. They appear to have a much larger force than expected. Which then leaves us at an interesting place. Because we're locked down by artillery now. And I'm conflicted between selling a bunch of lives right here and taking them to the next mission. For example, anybody that's leveled up right now is of tremendous use to me, and I don't want them to die in this last little bit of the mission. They've all done their part. We may actually be able to rally some of this infantry to take some of the fire, since they've pretty much handled all we need them for at this point with the capping. I'm gonna send this hunter down to grab that before somebody else does. He'll be a damage soak for us. Put an infantry there, and we want to start working on this artillery. We need him to be injured, or at least marginally wounded before I do anything else. He can't get inside their firing range, so he's kind of trapped outside the little circle right now. Let's go ahead and scoot him back by one. And we're going to form up a line right here while we get everybody else into position. And on the next turn, I'm hoping they'll focus on these two. I don't see why they wouldn't. Having these two here and leaving them is a big problem. We'll see what they do. If they spend the entire next turn fighting that, we'll try and make a run for it. Let's also get these trucks moving. Okay, so now that we're trucking there, and I do realize I'm putting them in the firing line if this fight happens over here, but I think the fight's probably going to happen either way, and getting these trucks out of here is our prime directive, like it's what needs to be accomplished, so let's stick to the plan, man, and hopefully we won't end up face down in the sand or something. I don't know if maybe I have to capture that too. I may try that on the next turn. Yeah, I think they're probably going to have me load guys onto boats or something. We'll figure it out. I still have a lot of moves left, but God, there are just so many. There are so many. their desperate focus on that infantry leads me to believe that the infantry may actually be necessary to complete the mission. Okay, so the ground that they held right there, actually, that may have looked like a futile gesture, but that was actually a good thing. That's something that we did want to focus on. They also kind of left themselves wide open right here. We're not going to allow him to continue living because he's the big choppa here on the field. He's the one that's causing us major, major issues. Let me see if I can get rid of him. A little bit more damage done. We're still going to take some artillery fire in the next turn, I think. But the best I can do at this point is to push really, really hard from both directions. We do still have this hunter left over on this side, which they didn't decide to finish off. I don't think we'll lose anybody up here on the next turn, even with their combined firepower, because they're both kind of whittled down a tad. I am going to put as much fire on everything advancing on me as I can. That artillery piece is still scary to me. Got a flanking bonus right there, which is always nice. I just really don't want to eat a lot of artillery on this one. So sacrificing some infantry just to hold back their lines a tad, I think is probably... I just don't want to fight inside the range of this artillery piece, which is what they're trying to force me to do by not pressing really, really hard. He may be able to fire a shot on the next turn, unfortunately, but hopefully he'll waste it on somebody down here. At least that's my desperate, desperate hope. Start moving these infantry. Everybody else looks like they've been taken care of. My kingdom for an Overwatch, I think. Let's go ahead and bypass and we'll see what happens here. Oh, they're gonna shoot my truck. Asshole. My interest on this turn is what they do with this guy right here. Everything else has been rendered pretty inert by the fact that we're displacing and falling back and fighting them along lines which are actively giving way. Okay, good. So my plan did succeed there. This sacrificial unit, once again, you guys know I like to sacrifice my infantry a lot, but we got to keep the armor safe here. So I think as long as we keep putting pressure on them with the blue weenie, we should be alright. That's my name for my forces. That's my nickname, the blue weenie. Let's go ahead and put some rockets on him. Cool, and this one should have bells on it, I think. Can't fire from there? Unfortunate. Let's continue moving this direction. We're going to capture everything that we conceivably can in the next coming turns. I don't know what else is over here, so let's have this unit do a little bit of a scout job just to make sure that there's nothing too devious going on. And then we'll start moving the trucks over. I didn't want to put the truck in the building, man. Get out of there. Unfortunate, wasting my own time. Let's continue moving all the trucks over. I do sort of wish that I could move them all at the same time. Like I could just plan out the movements and then hit a button and then they would all just go at once so that I didn't have to move so slowly. And I do apologize if it's mind-numbingly boring. But escort missions are escort missions, and unfortunately we can't go any further into the fun stuff until we do the escort mission. Down here, I'm actually just going to keep displacing, I think. I'm just going to sacrifice those units, and I'm going to allow them to keep giving chase. I don't see any real point in sacrificing any units that I don't have to. I think we've managed to make a pretty good gap in their assault by forcing them to deal with those infantry we threw in their direction. So yeah, let's just get the hell out of here. We'll obviously keep the Cerberus in the back just in case, but I don't think there's a whole lot to worry about. Who else has something going on here? You, sir, you're a scout. Go scout. Do your job. That looks suspiciously like a nod bike, but I'm not leveling any accusations. I love this game. They're gonna capture back these buildings. That's cool. We've gotten our use out of them anyways. I think the reason they can't catch us is because they're refusing to send outrunners. They could technically run us down with these hunters right now, but they're trying to keep everybody in a nice nasty blob. Let's capture this. How is that not in range? It's like right... Okay, so we're stuck for another turn because I don't know how to use my infantry properly. I will once again actively tell you I have no clue where I'm going with this army. I don't know if I have to take them over here or if capturing these is the main objective. No idea between those two choices. It's got to be something along those lines though. Let's go ahead and get our artillery nice and cozy. If there's one group that I want nice and tucked in, it's my artillery. Okay, everything else is looking pretty kosher right now. I'm actually going to use his move to get him over to this one on the next turn, since this one's going to cap that on the next turn. And I think we've just about peaked out our efficiency. Ew. That's not a very nice thing to do. He's extending in our direction. I never like it when that happens. Like, no! How dare you, sir? How dare you? I barely know thee. And if we end up getting into a fight, I've actually kind of haphazardly placed my units here, and I regret it already. Unfortunate. Let's go ahead and capture this. Excellent. One of our ships is approaching from the north with reinforcements. We should quickly conquer the second harbor too, so that we... As commander thinks in his... Oh, a commander in his late 30s appeared. He radiates self-confidence. His eyes are alert and scheming. So that I can lead a successful counterattack. Good job, gentlemen. I'll take over from here. But... Prepare for battle, Captain. The other commander pushes a button and Captain Hamill's transmission is cut off. Commander Parker, I presume. Why, certainly. We haven't been introduced officially, but I've kept an eye on you. So far, the war is rather, boring. The crashed cargo shuttle and the successful escape have aroused the public's attention. It's time to bring this affair to a triumphant end. These are my men, and I'll lead the counterattack. Although he's been prepared for a reaction, Parker seems surprised that you actually dared to disagree with him. Huh, I doubt that. You don't have the class to lead such a prestigious operation. General Cypher approaches. I beg to differ, Parker. I ordered the commander to rescue the units from the cargo shuttle, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. Parker seems more startled than angered. General Cypher is a living legend, and there's a strong chance he's one of the few people that even someone like Commander Parker looks up to. Alright, but that'll be all, Commander. General Cypher pushes a button. Commander Parker disappears. Put an end to it. Wipe out your pursuers. With a wide grin on his face, Captain Hamill fails to keep his military composure. Woohoo! Our good Commander Parker didn't see that one coming. Me neither, I have to admit. General Cypher in the flesh. You know the damn supreme commander of all the troops in the house to tell it? You got yourself some powerful friends, Commander. Yeah, let's make the hunter the hunted. Let's take the ship to the harbor, unload the units, and use them to strike back. But we gotta hurry, there's a new army approaching from the west. So wait, what am I doing? Oh, I've gotta conquer this over here. Okay. And I just did it again, didn't I? Nope, I can shoot from there. Okay, I feel better. And he's still got a movement, so next turn I should be able to get him. Ooh, what is this? Hello. We got some extra units? Yeah. Okay, well, we're just about out of time, so I think what I'll do is in the next episode we'll resolve this enormous combat down here. Maybe wipe out some of this stuff, I don't know. Maybe finish this whole thing off. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Battle Worlds Kronos, a very fun strategy game. Download link is down below, and I will see you guys next time. Take care out there, everybody.